We start in Florida now with breaking news. A jury there has found Ryan Routh guilty on all charges. He is the man charged in the attempted assassination of President Trump while he was golfing at his golf course in Florida last year. So Routh chose to defend himself during the trial. So I want to bring in CBS News correspondent Cristian Benavides, who has been following the trial for us, to walk us through what he saw in court today, actually ahead of the verdict. Hi, Cristian.
Hey there, Jules. Well, look, it was quite a dramatic moment inside the courtroom. A number of things that took place. First off, the jury finding the defendant here guilty on all 5 federal counts that he was facing. And it came to a dramatic end because right after the jury left the courtroom, the defendant, Routh, apparently trying to harm himself, possibly with a pen that was on his desk, to stab himself on the neck. Now, according to the assembled media that was in the back row, the daughter, Sarah Routh, yelled out something close to, "He's trying to hurt himself," before U.S. Marshals could tackle him and stop his actions. All of this, again, as that dramatic verdict came down. Now, we should note that Routh decided to represent himself. And just to give you an example of how all of this ended up, an example of why this case moved so quickly, Routh and the prosecution both had an hour and 45 minutes to present their closing statements, and Routh took just about 30 minutes to do so, while the prosecution took the entire time. They presented a lot of physical evidence, a lot of digital evidence. They even had a letter that he had written where he had written, "This is an assassination attempt." In addition to that, his DNA was found at the scene. Pair that with the response that Routh had, which was essentially that his character was not one that enabled him to do something like this. And so, again, a dramatic end to all of this with that, with him attempting to harm himself towards the end. We did see his daughter and his son out here. We tried to get a statement from them following what happened. They did not want to speak to the media, but clearly, as I mentioned, a dramatic end to all of this, and Routh being found guilty of all counts.
Yeah, an unexpected end to that as well. So let's talk about what happens next, the sentencing for Routh.
Right, so what happens next is essentially that he needs to be sentenced. That sentencing set to take place in December, and so we'll have to wait and see how that plays out then. But again, just a dramatic end here. And I should just also a note about what happened immediately following the moment that we spoke to the son and daughter. There was a torrential downpour that came upon us, and that's why you may have seen some of the technical issues that we had here trying to get on the air. So I want to apologize for that, and just mention that, again, all of this coming to a dramatic end inside and outside the courtroom. We did try to speak to the family, try to get some sort of response to the verdict, and they chose not to say anything.
Absolutely. All right. We appreciate your reporting. Thank you so much, Cristian Benavides. All right.